when I was Miguel's manager and long before I ever had any notion that I was going to be his teaching partner, I would say, okay, I have to come up with some flyers. What do you want to teach about? And he'd go, oh, sweetheart, I don't care. You decide. So I'd write down what I wanted to learn about, turn it into a fancy title, put it on top of the flyer, and we'd go into a workshop, and we'd be going in the door, and he'd go, what is it I'm doing? And I'd say the sentence, and sometime during the course of the night, he would use that sentence, sort of just to humor me or maybe the people who had paid their 20 bucks or whatever it was. So I always thought that was weird. Well, let me rephrase that. For a long time, I thought that was a very odd way to do it. And what I saw when I began teaching with him, because I never taught by myself or with anyone else. I started out, with a rather large charge. And it was that the only way to do it was through surrender. The first time I ever taught, I taught here, and we were over at lunch, and we had two groups. One had left, and the next one was coming. And he said, do you want to teach tonight? And I said, well, no. And he said, but I want you to teach tonight. And I said, well, that's nice. I'm not going to do it. These people paid a lot of money to come see you. They didn't pay to come see me. And he said, oh, but you'll be doing the teaching. So I had this huge panic, came rushing back to the hotel from lunch, and went up to my room and started writing down whatever I should teach about. Started getting real linear and writing it down. And about 20 minutes later, he and Trey came in my room, and they said, what are you doing? I said, preparing for tonight. And they went, is that what you're preparing? And I went, yes. And they tore it up. They said, come on, let's go play. So they kept me completely occupied for the rest of the day. And I have 80 new people here, and we're all down the road having dinner, and we come back to the hotel. And right before I got to the hotel, I hadn't been able to have a thought because there had been so much going on. And I went, well, you're going to have to trust. And so the very first thing I ever taught about was trust. And I surrendered, and I taught about trust, and it came. And I went, well, gosh, that was great. It just showed up. The teaching just came. Well, how did that happen? And so then each time I had to learn to trust all over again because I was afraid that it would abandon me and it wouldn't show up. But what I realized was I could not engage my linear mind and trust.